Welcome everyone. This is a special report and I'm TruePowerIsMine. I'm really pleased to break down this video tonight. I had a great conversation with an individual and opened my mind up, changed my perspective as the theme has been this year so far. This is to break down on what did Laura Bush really see. Now, some of you, you see in this frame, Michelle, they're just, looking at the thing. Some have argued the Secret Service passed them something, and she's showing Jeb there. You can see right there, look at her face. Now, when she was coming in, there's film of her coming in. She's all giggling. I know it's a funeral, but they're smiling upbeat. But Bush Jr., I know, his father died, and I'm sure he's pretty troubled, but a lot of people are speculating that something else is going on too. So look at Bush up in here. He seems distressed, but she looks cold, stark. Look, there's her face. She looks at Bush, then she looks down. Now I know there has to be a camera angle from this side too, but for some reason it's not being released. Well, it's pretty simple because it came from W. There are some photos of him writing stuff earlier. You can notice Secret Service. Alright, so now, what is this really about? Then enter this man, Ted.
Gary Caradori, who was investigating the Nebraska Franklin cover-up case. He was blown out of the sky, coming out of Chicago en route to Lincoln, Nebraska, with pictures of our presidents, according to my sources, of the United States, the Bushes family involved in sexual exploitation of children. This came out in the Australian newspaper also, by the way. A case in Nebraska that I worked back in the 1980s where they were flying children out of Omaha. Actually, they're driving them from Omaha to Sioux City, Iowa, 184 miles away, putting them on private jets, flying them to Washington, D.C. for sex orgies with congressmen, senators. A fellow named Rusty Nelson would take their picture. Then they would use that for blackmail, tell the congressmen, senators how to vote. It's kind of interesting because Rusty needed a life insurance policy of his own, so he put his own camera film in there every once in a while and take the pictures without them knowing about it. Because after every shoot, Larry King, not Larry King live TV, but Larry King, head of the whole porno operation there in Omaha and past president of the Franklin Savings and Loan, Larry would come around and take the film after each shoot. Well, Rusty put some film in there on the sly and had his own pictures. That's his life insurance policy. That's why Rusty's alive today, for that very reason. Rusty was asked to become involved in a sexual act by Larry King. He went out a motel bathroom window in order to avoid it, made his way back from Washington, D.C. to Nebraska, and went into hiding at his grandfather's farm that had been abandoned. And his mother was approached and contacted by the FBI. They asked where Rusty was, and she told him where he was, and they went out and talked to Rusty at the farm. He left. He came back sometime later, and the farm house had been demolished. It had bullet holes throughout the house. Only the FBI knew that that farmhouse was there and that Rusty had hidden out there for a period of time.
So, now we go back to this. Now, there's a deal out there called QAnon. Alright? And basically, what one of the insiders saying to that is that once, I guess, Trump gets ready to strike, he's going to bring the hammer down on all the elites and all this child pedophilia ring, which would totally help him out in the evangelical crowd and most decent folks that don't want to see, kids being abused. So therefore, watch in the news in the next coming weeks or so. Major news, major news. So, also remember, in 2000, Alex Jones came out with the information about them killing the children, or not killing children, but sacrificing children in effigy in Bohemian Groves in 2000. And then in 2001, 9/11 happens. So, whenever big bombshells like this are being released, a false flag is almost surely to come. So, we got to understand we are truly living in the times for sure. I do give my condolences, to all the people who cared, for Bush Senior. At the end of the day, he was a human being, obviously. He was a father, grandfather, president, CIA director, and if Rusty and others are correct, or if Ted's correct, they were many other things as well. And a lot of these people you see in the picture there are right along with them, because birds of a feather do indeed flock together. So we need to understand now, what's it gonna be. Look at her. Look at that face. She is entrenched. And then, oh, look at Bush. He is just choked up. I know some of this is his genuine feeling, of basically his father's dead. I mean, his father died, and that has to be hard. But as we all know, all too often, a lot of times, these elites, they're not emotionally like us. They're, I hate to say it, on another level. I mean, they're motivated by power and greed and authority, whereas most people are motivated by just surviving. But this has been a special report. Hopefully, this insight will help you change your perspective. And as always, let's try to be kinder to each other. Good night.